What's up, guys? So I'm trying to get fired up again off coffee. The weather got kind of bad and cloudy and a little rainy. I'm not enjoying it that much. It's feeling like complete garbage this morning, but I went to the gym and got a really good workout and did some stuff like pretty extreme sets and stuff that, you'd be surprised how workout can basically change your day, even though you think that you feel like garbage. But anyways, I wanted to make this video basically on specificity of training, and I always heard this term from Alex from Alex of Alpha Destiny's channel, and I didn't really, I knew what it meant, but basically I just think this is really important because I had been training basically doing like dumbbell presses. Like I got up to being able to do the 120s. I could do them before, but I'm just at a lighter weight, so I don't know, I'm not using that as an excuse. But anyways, and then I got to the incline presses, and I was almost to the 120s, and I just thought it would really much transfer over to like barbell presses. I really haven't done any barbell presses recently, or that much, except for like shoulder press and or overhead press and a little bit of high incline presses. And I went to do an incline press today, and I was pretty embarrassed by my performance. I could only do 245. Like I said, that's not really that bad, but like for me, because I had done like basically a close grip incline press before with 285, yeah, it was heavier. But, I don't know back then if I could have done these dumbbell incline presses with 115 or whatever. I might be able to do 120 now. Maybe not. I don't know. But so what I'm trying to say is that, like, if you're going for like basically a goal, I believe you want to keep it as close to possible. And maybe the strength is there. It's just I'm not used to the movement pattern, or my central nervous system isn't quite there. But it was just kind of very frustrating because like I've been training and getting stronger at these lifts, but then and I think they're going to carry over, and they just don't. I don't know. Maybe for some people they do, but in my experience also, sometimes, especially this goes for pressing movements. I don't know why it's only for pressing movements, but for me it seems to be the most basically noticeable, is that unless you're basically training for exactly or as close to possible as what you're trying to accomplish, it seems to not be that much carryover, at least in my experience. Like I said before, when I was bench pressing a lot, I did a 340 pause and a 350 touch and go, but my overhead press was still at 210. So maybe if I would have trained my overhead press more, what I'm trying to say is that also when my bench press was at 350, my incline press, I don't know, I started out and maybe I can only do like 250 or 260. So it's kind of like, what I'm trying to say is the movement that you're doing, sometimes you'd think it would carry over, but it doesn't. I'm not really quite sure that an overhead press has much carryover to a bench press. Yeah, it might be able to help you blast through your bench press plateau, but if you're not doing the bench press while you're doing it, then I don't know that it will carry over. Yeah, I have gained some strength, because I haven't really even been doing any bench presses, and so maybe I added a few pounds or whatever to the lift, but nothing dramatic. So it was just basically I was kind of almost embarrassed about how weak I was. 245 incline press for me is just almost pathetic. But really the weight just felt heavy, and I just didn't understand it. I thought all this stuff would, and maybe it's because the dumbbells, they don't go down as far, even though I thought I was, trying to make a bigger range of motion. But so, I don't know, some people can get away with doing movements, basically. I remember, just to use another example of Alex from Alpha Destiny, he was doing these basically overhead presses, and then he switched back to close grip bench press with bands, and he broke a record. So I don't know why that is for some people, or some people can get away with doing like basically high reps and then transfer into doing something like a heavy 1 rep single. That never worked for me. I guess maybe I'm the type of like explosive like lifter that has to kind of get those willpower muscles or willpower strength. Like I can't just sit around and do like, I have to be pushing myself to the absolute basically max to gain any strength, at least for me. Or maybe I don't have the patience to sit around and do 60% reps and just kind of get the volume. Sometimes there's a time and a place for that, but if you're always doing that, I don't know how the hell anyone gets stronger doing that. I'd like to actually just hear from some other people if they've had this experience, maybe doing like, even like getting to a weighted dip, like of around like 205 or whatever. Like I thought that would carry over to a bench press, but when you're not doing the bench press, it's just like, I don't know. Yeah, you could have a decent bench press, but I'm talking about like ass-kicking numbers. I mean, I don't know. My numbers really weren't that good, but it's just like you need, or in my opinion, you need to be focusing on the lift that you're trying to get good at. I don't know why I thought that like, I could develop a really good bench by just doing dumbbell presses. I mean, it sounds like it would work, but like, I don't know. Maybe I needed to do more volume, but I think there's like a certain like level of strength that you can get to through that, but really to blow past it, I don't know. I mean, because from doing calisthenics too, I didn't go to a gym and, I was able to bench press like, I don't know, I didn't work out in years and I did calisthenics for like 5 or 6 months. But I was doing one arm, like, elevated push-ups. I mean, I could bench, like, I don't know, 260, 265, and the strength came on fast. So maybe it has to do with building up that muscle and then getting your central nervous system, like, fired up. I'm not exactly sure, but all I know is I will be back to doing more barbell presses in the nature of the things that I want to do. And if I want to get good at dumbbell presses, then maybe I'll make those a lower priority. Or maybe if that's all I want to get good at is dumbbell presses. I don't know. I found them actually even more taxing than barbell presses because if you're picking up the heavy-ass weight all the time and then, getting them up, it's just like your grip's fried. And I mean, that's not a good excuse because I'm overtraining my grip now on purpose to get my forearms stronger. But the point I'm trying to make is there's some exercises that transfer over for some people and some that don't. So you really have to figure out your own body type. And I know there's another guy, like I think his name was Matt Wenning, that talks about like, developing like a bunch of special exercises that are going to help you. And if you're at a certain level of strength on that one, then you can hit this number on the other lift. I haven't found those yet out for myself. I mean, I haven't really been lifting for that long. I mean, I have, but not really like seriously. And I've taken years and years and years off. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video in case maybe somebody, has gotten frustrated and been like, well, I did all this like assistance work, or I did all this press and it didn't transfer over. Like just for an example, maybe you got your shoulder press, like mine's getting pretty good. I mean, I did hit 190 for 2, which, I mean, it's not really even that good. But anyways, I'm just trying to think that, when I was benching around like, 315 for 3 reps, I mean, maybe I could do 195 for 2 or whatever. And so my shoulders were getting stronger, and maybe it was helping, a little bit on the bench. I mean, I believe it was helping maybe some bit. But really, I'm at almost the same level of strength, but yet I don't even know what I could bench. It's probably something pathetic, maybe like 275 or something, which really isn't that bad. But, I mean, like I said before, I'm trying to get ass-kicking numbers. I want to hit like 405 or, an incline press of 315, and it's kind of irritating, because I do believe, I don't care what anybody says, like, I believe if I put on like about 10 pounds, like my pressing would just, I mean, I know it to be like a fact basically didn't even really, I don't know, my bench went up, and maybe it was because I was working out, but also, I don't know, it just felt like weighing more was more of an advantage. So yeah, I don't really know where I'm going with that, but the video is basically just about that, like, if you're going for a specific lift, like, don't expect maybe, maybe it's possible, but don't expect, like, if you're going for a deadlift or squat, to that lift go up when you don't even train it. I mean, for some people that might work, but I'm realizing more and more that, and maybe all this other assistance work and stuff I did is going to help me blast past plateaus that I previously couldn't get, but like right away, it didn't work. And I had the same experience with doing these bands. I basically was watching Alex's channel and got really strong at these band presses, and my like actual like normal bench went down. But then after a while, it did blasted past through the plateau. So there is a time and a place. It's just like directly, like right away, I don't believe that there's always that much basically carryover. And yeah, I believe that gaining more muscle and more strength will help you blast past your plateaus. But don't get discouraged, because if you go back to a lift and you're weak at it, I believe the strength will come back fast. And if not, then like that didn't work. So, I mean, a lot of the stuff is experience. I mean, if I simply sat back and listened to all these, gurus and physical trainers that don't know what the hell they're talking about, I mean, I might not even be able to bench 225 right now. So at least at least it's good to know and have your own experience. Because, I mean, I'm not hating on trainers, but this stuff has gotten so ridiculous that you go to a gym and people are like, like bending over, like measuring their back angle and like looking at themselves in the mirror while the trainer like puts their head up with a pole, and it just becomes like you're not even working out. It just becomes like some like yoga like freak show, and you wonder why people can't get strong. Well, they're spending like 3 years developing a form on a squat. I mean, I'm not saying form isn't important, but some of the best people, they learn from their mistakes and learning how their body works and feeling their body and basically going off instincts. I know every time I've tried to fix my form, it completely destroyed what I was doing. And yeah, maybe I don't even believe that having bad form is even that much risky, because you learn how to work your body, and the more times you have bad form, the more you can develop better, and you'll realize that if you keep doing it one way, you might not get stronger. So I don't know, I kind of went on a rant about the form, but it just turns into this ridiculous thing where people are looking at themselves in the mirror 90% of their workouts, and it's making their form worse, and their heads twisted that way. And how are you going to and then every time you go to pull for a max amount anyways, you're not going to do that. So your form breaks down usually anyways. Usually people, unless they're like master technicians that turn their body into robots, but I don't know, maybe the greatest people do that. But I believe that's through practice and repetition. And yeah, so I don't know where I'm going, but my video basically is on the importance of specificity of training. So maybe if you weren't able to basically get a strong lift at what you're doing, just maybe you're trying to increase your bench press. Let's just say your bench press. Just basically do more reps and sets. Forget about all that other nonsense that maybe not can help, but just focus on that. Maybe you're plateaued. We'll do more. Do one more rep each workout, or one more set. It's just all repetition and getting your central nervous system fired up. Maybe do it 2 days in a row. Who cares what all these people think? I basically took my bench press from basically 310 to 335 in 2 weeks one time. I just bench press every day, maxed out every day. A lot of people think, oh, that's bad for your shoulders. Whatever, my shoulders felt fine. So, just there's a lot more to it than all this other stuff. But specificity of training, very important. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you liked the video, and subscribe for more content.